Oh my goodness, this movie's not good. Oh, this movie's not good. Oh, this movie's not good. But is it as bad as everyone says it is? It's better than Fallen Kingdom. That's the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us today on the show. No, I've covered this a few different times. I did the out of the theater reaction for Jurassic World Dominion. I was also doing that one. Gotcha. Huh?
Dominion.
It's the French.
Yeah, Dominion.
It's the French cut.
So and then I also there was that one. I did an episode of Big Thing last week, which again, if you haven't seen, you really blew it. You really blew it. It was a great episode with me and Roxy and Brett, and it was just that question: is it really that bad? And we talked about that on the show. I did a spoiler review on my lonesome, and now I'm going to do a spoiler discussion with the crew that watched all of these movies with me. We're at the end of this episode, we're going to rank all of the Jurassic movies because we've seen them all. Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, Jurassic World 1, 2, 3. Myself, Coy, Winston. It is the Big Thing. It is the show. If you have not subscribed on podcast form, I cannot emphasize enough for all the new subscribers that we have. Please go to the Big Thing podcast. If you like Sith Council, if you like any of those shows, it's all on this feed. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. This is how you help the show. If you can't, well, I can't be a patron. I don't have the funds to do it. That's okay. Go to Apple Podcasts. Go to Spotify, and go and be a. And even if you watch it on the YouTubes, do it over here too. We got shirts up too, by the way. If you want to show a little class, Sith Council, Big Thing, all of it. All right, we got the show. It's Jurassic World Dominion. Here it comes. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ralph Biscuit Saves the World, Part 1. It's not true, but it should be. It'd be a hell of a series. Starring Josh Brolin and Liv Tyler. Yeah. All right. Welcome back, guys.
Hola.
Dominion.
Dominion.
I did change my shirt.
Good for
if you followed the story from last week, Kristian, who lives here, was like, "Nay, we're doing it in one day," and I'm like, "I'm a prep.
Not necessary.
This thing's dope."
I just sat in the same place for 4 days, and
here we are.
Nice, yeah.
You're just living your life.
Yeah.
So this movie,
Yes.
It's a movie.
I liked it more than the last two.
Sure.
I liked it more than World. I liked it more than.
See, I didn't like it more than World, but I liked it better. I mean,
But I also think I disliked World more than you guys.
you
when
could
we
get
went
up on
over
this
it.
table,
Yeah.
and take a crap on that table and hand it to me in a box. I would like that box with your crap in it more than I would like Fallen Kingdom. That movie is a
I
terrible
put more
movie.
effort into it.
And you would. The movie, there's, we just talked about it before we went on air. If you talk to the World Girls, I mean, they think this is one of the worst movies of all time. I don't feel that. I mean, it's got like a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. That is warranted, because for people who don't know and don't understand that what happens in Rotten Tomatoes, I didn't think it was that bad to get a 7%. It doesn't mean that everyone is ranking it at the lowest score possible. What the Rotten Tomatoes score means is that, so if you rank anything under a 3 out of a 5 for that movie, it is rotten. Most people, even if you say, well, it's a high end of a 2.9, still rotten.
Right.
If you feel that it's a 0.0.0, still rotten. So that's all of those critics together who go, this is not great. And even those ones who go, I hated it. And those other ones that go, it was not good, but it wasn't terrible.
Only 32 out of 100 people thought it was better than a 3.
32 only 32%. So only 32% of that 100. Yes,
Right. 32 out of 100 people thought it was
not
better than a
32 out of
3.
100 people. 32%.
Yeah, but I'm
out of the
saying for
100%.
like
Yes.
math.
He's oversimplifying it,
Yes.
but I know what you're saying because it could. You're saying
We don't know if
was
it's 1,000
5
reviewers.
Right.
Yes,
right,
if there were 1,000 reviewers, 32% of them thought it was over a 3.
Yeah.
that's how it works. And a lot of people still aren't aware
Don't
of
understand
that.
that.
Everyone still thinks, well, I think it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know about
75
30%.
doesn't equal C.
No, it just
It's not like
it
that.
means enough people thought it was under the ranking that it should be in order for it to be fresh.
Yeah.
So, and I am in that the range. I'm not in the 32%. I'm in the rotten range. Like, it's not a good movie, but it's certainly better than Fallen Kingdom. And the problem is, and we said this, like, so Winston and I were lied to. We were lied to at this screening. We went, and because we were both.
I was like, about what?
And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Nothing
Okay.
against this poor gentleman who said it, but this man lied to our faces and didn't realize he was lying to our faces.
Because Kristian was pretty quiet at this point. We're just like, the movie's going, and I'm like,
Well, don't say anything yet. Don't say anything yet. So we were We're at
no idea what's
so we're getting there. We're getting ready. And we're prepping ourselves because we've been talking, the three of us, about how scared we are about watching this movie because it's a long movie.
Yeah.
Now the good news is that we were told in a lot of reports that this movie was like 240. We were told it was 240. The good news, it's not 240. The bad news is it's still close to about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So we were getting ready to watch the movie, and a nice gentleman comes up. He's like, I'm with the piracy thing. We just have to make sure all phones are off, and so everybody knows you just keep your phones off. The movie's around 2 hours and 2 hours and 10 minutes. And so Winston and I look at, well, hey,
hell yeah!
Maybe they made some cuts
in the last week.
So he leans over to me. At one point, he goes, I think that guy was wrong. He goes, because I think we have a lot more to go.
I look, I go, Kristian, it's been like 2 hours and 10 minutes, and this is not the end.
And we're not in the wrap up.
And you remember what I said to you? I go, no chance. There's no chance this movie's almost over. And it still had about another 15 or 20 minutes left, and we were at like the 2:05 mark. So it's too long.
Yeah.
Because the problem is it's like the Batman. I'll sit there and I'll have that conversation with you and probably understand where you're coming from.
We've had that
conversation. When you say it's because Winston and I for the Batman thought there's just a couple shots that go on a little long, but the overall dialogue and story and commitment to story, I understand why you put so much time into it. I understand why it starts to tack on those minutes because it's a pretty involved story. There's no need for this movie to be 2.5 hours. It's just, there's no story. It's such a convoluted mess.
And like, there's no reason to add, this is a spoiler, right?
Yeah, the whole thing is spoiler.
There's no reason to add locusts to a dinosaur movie.
No, it's
those same things could have been the dinosaurs instead of like some very thin biblical allegory.
But what I will tell you about that is that I was so nervous because I had heard
it was all locusts.
I heard it was all locusts.
I heard it was like, I'm wondering if there's another cut because I heard the same thing.
Yeah, it wasn't because I saw. So this is funny because a friend of mine, I saw him at Celebration, and so he had seen the movie Jurassic World Dominion, and I was talking to him and he was telling me he's like I wanted it to be good. He goes, it's not good, it's bad. He goes, and it's really not even about dinosaurs. It's about these silly locusts. And I'm like, oh no. And then I saw him when we went to our screening. He was online again. I go, why are you doing this to yourself? And he's a really good critic. And he's like, if I have an opportunity to see it before my review comes out twice, for my own thoughts to watch it again, maybe I catch something else. And he wrote back, he's like, nope, still terrible. But I was from his review and other people's review, I was terrified it was just all going to be about the locusts.
Same.
It wasn't. It is a very silly subplot that did not need to be.
If you cut those 20 minutes. I like this movie even like maybe
better.
A half letter grade more.
Yeah.
Like it's enough more that it's like the runtime's better. It's smoother. It's more logical. And you could do that metaphor with dinosaurs.
I think my issue with it is that like we've always had a little bit of a struggle with what the kind of main antagonist is to these films. You sort of get it in the first one because you got some interference of someone doing some corporate espionage. Yeah. And then now it becomes a monster film of like, we just have to survive the night. While you're sort of getting that here, it's like now you're dealing with a dude that's like going full Elon Musk and he's like trying to control the world's food supply with locusts. And it's like, there's too much going on.
And that dude's supposed to be Dodson from the first Jurassic Park.
Which I didn't know until you brought that up on
the Barbasol can.
Yeah, when they brought that up with the Barbasol cans, like, how did he get it?
He literally was
the guy,
and that's insane.
They should have brought mention to that.
Yeah,
like my meeting with so and so and the first time. Right. Oh, okay, that's who he's supposed to be.
Shallow of a connection.
Yeah, and then the legacy characters. Even when the legacy characters met up with the new characters, it didn't have any emotional impact. The problem is that there's no magic in this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that.
No, it doesn't feel special.
Spielberg.
It doesn't feel special. And again, when you look at that piece of crap, the Fallen Kingdom movie, someone said to me the other day, you know that Colin Trevorrow didn't direct the second one, right? I was like, I must have said 1,000,000 times over how much of a fan of J.A. Bayona was. I'm very aware that he didn't direct it. What I'm saying is that the direction in this movie is better. And if you compare them as directors overall, I think J.A. Bayona is the better director. However, I do think that both of Trevorrow's movies, this one included, is better than the last one.
Sure.
Now, he probably had a lot of direction or notes from producers, probably Trevorrow included, on what they wanted to make it. Because Trevorrow continues on the same type of stuff that Bayona was doing. Because Bayona's movie starts with the traditional Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3, all that stuff, the things we've seen before, but they have to escape the island this time. And then it turns into this B-movie, expensive B-movie, science fiction monster film with cloning, right?
Yeah.
This is the same. It just happens, even though it's so convoluted and there's a lot of crap going on, I followed this and cared more. Like, I wasn't
bored.
And I didn't do this. Oh, come on.
Yeah, whereas in that one, I often was like, what am
I did for the very end. And I did because all of a sudden it's like, we just got to learn to live with them. And then, like, the whales are chilling with the giant dinosaur whale. And, like, that's not how this would work.
Dude, that happens the whole movie.
The whole movie, they're like, here's some birds.
But the whole movie, the dinosaurs go like this. We used to be scary and eat people. But now we're not going to eat you today.
Dude, to be like, there's only 37 dinosaur-related deaths a year, I don't believe that.
That number is as dumb as the bidding scene in the last film, where they're like, a dinosaur, $2 million, $2 million. I'm like, you could get a Lamborghini or a dinosaur, you're getting a Lamborghini.
If you have to make an entire system to keep the pterodactyls out of your little nesting or
more
whatever,
than 37 people have
what makes you think that they're not out here taking planes out of the sky?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the movie I wanted. And that's the movie we kept talking about throughout this world, is we wanted Jurassic World. I feel like the scene with the T-Rex in San Diego is more Jurassic World than any Jurassic World.
You know the other thing that kind of pissed me off just a little bit? I was really looking forward to someone losing a hand with this. Hey, whoa there, buddy. I was just waiting for somebody to lose
Homeboy
a
got
hand.
scratched.
That's the worst he got was a scratch, and that's because she's pissed her daughter's gone.
Right.
But other than that, you're telling me now all of a sudden, now Clone Girl's doing it, and
everybody's doing it.
Everybody throwing a hand up.
It has one obvious answer. Spielberg and Lucas are friends. They have the Force. It's obvious. They're controlling them with the Force. They're Force mind-wiping the dinosaurs. Chris Pratt is a Jedi, and Sam Neill is his master.
But he says it. Goldblum even says it. He goes, "You're talking to a dinosaur." Like, it's like that.
Goldblum was our eye line. Goldblum was describing how impossible that plot was.
On your shoulder?
Dinosaur.
He doesn't.
I love how he pronounces dinosaur so much. I think the reason I gave this movie like a slight, I think this is the third, we'll rank them, but I think I like this one the most of the worlds because it got Goldblum saying dinosaur a lot.
1, 3, 2.
Well, wait, just wait.
We'll do it at the end.
Come on.
But like of the worlds, I enjoyed this one the most of the worlds because it brought back the OGs. I didn't feel the magic of having them back as much as I should have, but they were still back.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, even with the two of them when they set it up, and even their relationship where they're finally getting together, it's like I loved seeing it.
Yeah. But I didn't feel it as much as I wanted. Yeah, I saw it, didn't feel it.
Yeah.
So mentally, I'm like, nice.
I'm like, that's what I wanted, and I'm glad I see it, but it wasn't earned.
I want it here.
Yeah, it wasn't earned. It's like, and even like, I thought the girl who you gave a lot of crap for in the last movie, I think she was pretty good in this one. The girl who plays Maisie.
Oh, yeah, she got way better.
And I think that she had more to do.
Same actress?
Yeah, same actress. And I think she had more to do. I think the character had more to do. I didn't mind the cloning aspect as much, although it's... How many times is B.D. Wong going to say, if I just had the DNA.
How many times are you going to give him a chance?
No. But how many times is he going to say that line?
Yeah,
he said it like 6 times. He said that as many times as Reva interrogated Leia in the last episode. Like he was like he kept walking in and he kept saying, if I just had the DNA from your mom, I could change the world, or I could change the locus. I could do that.
We get it.
BD, what are you doing now? Well, if I just had the DNA from your mom, he kept saying this. It's like they had nothing from the. Speaking of which,
I will say that every scene.
Wow! You know what? I'm out here.
What?
Making sure that.
What?
Every time I come out and see Laura Dern.
What?
That she's paying attention to Locust.
What?
And I'm gonna come back.
What?
And even though I'm gonna get my neck chomped by the new dinosaur.
What?
I'm gonna team up with the new dinosaur.
What?
And I'm gonna take that son of a bitch down because that's what T-Rex says. And I can't remember the rest of the line.
Woo! That's what you were doing.
That's what I was doing.
I was trying to figure out what was going on.
That's why I was pulling it, yeah.
This is the part of the show where I'm a spectator. I lean back. I appreciate it like the viewers do. I have my own show.
We showed Andrew Guy that because he's like, Kristian, you have too much time on your hands.
I'm like, yeah, that's what this show is. Too much time on my hands.
Well, this is the time I need to decompress from the rest of the chaos, and we just film it for others. Like this is the same thing we'd all be doing in the back of the Schmodown. We're just putting it on camera for people.
And we're making sure that before we finish, Coy can make his bowling match. So
I am definitely gonna run. Actually, this would be a dope bowling.
Yeah.
That said, I do think that every scene that Jeff Goldblum didn't steal, DeWanda Wise did. She was great. I want her to be like so many characters now. I want to see her in a lot.
She was great, and I
didn't know her worked. I was so impressed.
Neither did I, and I think I actually said
she's the pilot.
Yes, and I actually said to Winston at one point, her character
has an arc.
But it has an arc, but her character to me had more of what I think we were looking for from Reva than what they wrote in.
I didn't even put that together.
Like when you look at what she does and the way she's introed and the way that she's like, it's more subtle. I think that unfortunately for her, and this the whole movie suffers from this just bad dialogue, and there's really nowhere else to go with her. But she was fantastic, and I thought like she had more like of a subtle thing about her and this edge about her that I believed right away, and she wasn't like overcooking it, right? And I thought that there was something about her that she did pop. I thought she was one of the standouts of the movie.
She to me was what I wanted Chris Pratt to be in the first one. Like she had like a history, she's got some legacy, she can handle dinosaurs, but I believe it. All of that felt more authentic than Chris Pratt being like, I got a vest. And then I love that they made that joke in the movie. Like I really love they're like, oh, you put a vest on, you think you can wrangle dinosaurs? I'm like, that's the character.
But you know what? And so this just made me realize more so the way that they said. By the way, that movie scene, the movie theater scene, not even in the movie.
No, there's so many scenes, and all the
remember the whole trailer. Remember the trailer about when the T-Rex comes out and the little kids looking about the movie. It's not even in there. And then they're chasing them through, chasing the dinosaur through like in the helicopter.
To this day, the short that Trevorrow made about Jurassic World is the second best Jurassic thing since Jurassic 1.
And that's in the movie for like a split second.
Opening credits.
It's like well,
it's
as
in a montage.
It's when the woman who's doing the reporting about everything about
I think it's in the first
the exposition scene. When that's going on, they show a little bit of it, but it just made me realize even more so, and I stand by it, that they should have went the Planet of the Apes thing with this movie.
We thought they were from the first trailer from that short.
From Jurassic World 1, they make it seem like they're going to go that route because instead of this convoluted science fiction locus corruption nonsense that they've done a million times over
the
with
dinosaurs are enough of a threat, man.
I don't understand why they're
not a threat in this movie at all.
I don't understand why
they're just living there.
Why doesn't Universal think that dinosaurs are scary?
No,
what's wild is you got time to go be on an archaeological dig when I'm sure there's a T-Rex stomping through New York City. That doesn't make sense.
It does. Like there's so many logical fallacies in this movie.
The whole thing.
One of the few things that I told Kristian this when we were watching it. This might be the best convincing of getting one of these characters to go deal with some Jurassic crap by getting Neill to be like, look, like this is kind of what's going on. Like, can you that was the first time.
And in the first movie, he holds up the claw and throws it because he's like, there's real raptors.
Right.
6 or 5 movies later, he's back there.
He's back there in a dig. But and he just leaves the dig once he gets his old flame back or wannabe flame. But the thing is, imagine this though. Imagine like taking our legacy characters with the new characters, and the thing is, when you open up, you're in this almost post-apocalyptic world or whatever, not post-apocalyptic, but the fact that the dinosaurs now, as Jeff Goldblum warned in the first movie, that eventually they're going to take over if you mess with it, and they're starting to take over it. And you want to have a message. The planet would probably, with all of us and dinosaurs taking over, would probably be more green, right? And would probably start to have a more of a thing. But the humans have to kind of find a way in this almost like Walking Dead way to survive,
symbiosis,
like Land of the Lost and all.
Great.
And imagine, like at one point, there's some kind of threat, and there's still planes and there's still certain things they're trying to get from one place to another. Maybe there's like a couple civilized places still left where they can keep the dinosaurs.
We've got hubs
and stuff. And then what happens is, whether you want to use the Maisie girl or whatever it is to get trapped inside of this, the same way you do in a Jurassic Park movie. But at the same time, Laura Dern is maybe with Chris Pratt and those people, and Sam Neill is with Bryce Dallas Howard.
So you got to get to each other,
and then they get to each other, and
Mad Max Jurassic Road,
and they have to go through this entire world. But 100. But you're not. But you're right, 100%. And you start to set this whole new thing in place with the legacy characters and how they have to survive and how Goldblum has to survive, and like it's the breakdown of society inside of this new Jurassic World.
And we saw how cool
Jurassic World.
The Malta scene is that. We saw how cool that would be. We saw the raptors.
Jeff Goldblum actually shits on this movie and the franchise.
Movie.
He goes, I don't like Jurassic World.
Yes.
And it's like, neither do we, Jeff.
We're here, Jeff.
Neither do we.
Thank you.
Well, There's so many like that would have been so cool to see that happen. You've even put it in the naming scheme of the films.
Yeah.
That this is where that it's a
Jurassic World.
Yeah.
That it is a fallen kingdom. I'm assuming it's the humans have lost their kingdom, and now it's the dominion of the dinosaurs.
Right.
And
None of that happened.
No, it turns into this silly science fiction monster
The
movie.
kingdom didn't fall. The
No.
volcano blew up.
And then the
there
dinosaurs
was
are
no
our
dominion.
friends. And the dinosaurs
they're
are all our
hanging
friends
out.
now.
We're in
And
Dinotopia.
every one of those pterodactyls that were flying with those birds would turn and eat every one of those
Immediately.
birds. And it's like what, dude? They would be taking over again. They were the dominant species for years.
If they do more of these, we need to give it 10 years so we get this taste out of
And
our mouth.
go that way.
And go Planet of the Apes and call
Yes.
it like Cretaceous continent.
Look, I've met Colin Trevorrow many times.
Nice
over.
guy.
Sweetheart of a guy. You got to get this out of his hands.
Yeah.
He's making these.
He's too sweet.
But look at the Top Gun model, man.
Yes.
Like you can go in, you can put. You don't have to just cotton candy popcorn.
We
these summer
want
movies
integrity.
Anymore. Yes, we want it. You take and you build up. Give me more stories. Like, oh yeah, what about your the second? And it's so predictable. What about your husband? It's over now. Okay, so that means you guys are gonna get together.
Yeah.
The second that's set up.
Sam Neill's like got it in. Like that's poor writing.
That's it. You know, the writing is really bad.
If you're gonna do that, I know you're then you got to pay another actor to come in. But you could have done it. You could have done it through text messages. You could have done it through like mysterious phone calls. Make it that their marriage is on the rocks, and now that they're
or in the middle of a divorce.
Any of those things, you know what I'm saying? And then have that kind of set up in that particular way. I did want to ultimately see them get back together, and I was
of course.
invested.
Who wasn't rooting for that?
But
I liked that there was some like dinosaur smuggling. I liked that world, but we should have seen more of the ramifications of the dinosaurs on the macro, not just the micro.
But
it
even
was
the
only
smuggling.
the micro.
Yes, but even the smuggling part. Didn't that play like a Star Wars cantina
100%,
scene?
100%. I liked that.
But the thing was, I liked it because it made me think. Because it made me think of, okay, that's what Trevorrow would have done with Star Wars, which could have been interesting. But it turned more into like this kind of silly movie thing, as opposed to the first movie, the book, had horror elements to it and scary elements to it. That's all gone now.
Right.
And like because and even like little things where Bryce Dallas Howard is hitting dinosaurs in the head with pipes. Chris Pratt's choking dinosaurs out.
That was so stupid.
When he grabbed the Dilophosaurus by the neck
to choke it out.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
It's not an Avengers movie.
Dude, you are not Star-Lord. You do not have the powers of a Celestial. You cannot choke out a dinosaur, bro.
Right, and it's like, he comes up, how cool would it be, and then he chokes out the dinosaur. It's like, no, the dinosaur would eat his hand.
It was cool to see the Dilophosaurus is back. And I love the new dinosaurs. The
ones with
sloth-based dinosaur is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dilophosaurus is the spitter.
Yeah.
But the sloth-based dinosaur is a real thing.
Oh,
and
the
that's
one with the claws?
Yeah, that's a real thing that existed. And I think they think it's a herbivore, which is why they like didn't show it eating people, but it used those for defense. So like that thing I've been terrified of since I was a kid. It was dope.
The other thing that didn't make sense to me, if you're talking about the smuggling scene, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way that Bryce Dallas Howard in real life is out parkouring a raptor.
Nope.
Not in the straightaway. There's not there. If there was a bunch of little random corners and maybe there's a situation where you could throw the raptor off because it's moving with too much momentum.
Yep.
You are not outrunning it on a roof.
Look at Jurassic
you are
Park
not
1.
Jason Bourne.
Jurassic
you are not
Park
Lara
1,
Croft.
that raptor scene is the precedent of their speed and power. How is she suddenly also I like Bryce Dallas Howard as a director, as an actress. I think she would not have been able to smoothly integrate into a smuggler ring.
All right,
like,
not
Bryce Dallas
not
Howard
even
is
that.
so like, you know what I mean? Like
she's apple pie.
Right.
Yeah, in America, she's like girl next door. But
doesn't work.
And it also doesn't work. It's all of this, which is it turns into this stupid James Bond villain thing where they take the girl, which I like the poacher scene and all that stuff. You could have played that in a little bit more like a Deliverance side if it was this Planet of the Apes
middle of
thing.
nowhere, yep.
Yeah, where it was like this kind of like creepy guys who are trying to make their way through and they have to whatever. They can play fantasy booking all day long. But then what actually happens in the movie, a smart move that was made by the villains finally, they separated the dinosaur and they separated the girl on two different planes. I thought that was a great move, and it made me think that finally one of these villains has some brains. Mm-hmm. However, that girl, or that woman, is wearing this ridiculous outfit. Oh, it was like a Bond villain. And then she's laying there like...
She's sitting here shooting the...
Yeah, she's standing there like that with the lasers, doing the lasers. It turned into a Bond movie. And then talking about Bryce Dallas Howard, and then Bryce Dallas Howard just happens to be able to fight her.
I was gonna say she's
What?
not gonna win a fight against her.
What?
When did she learn those skills? She's a scientist.
I get what they're trying
And
to
she
imply.
disappears, by the way. That Bond villain disappears.
We never see her again. The girl from Severance doesn't show up again.
Is that where she's from?
Yeah, she's great.
Okay.
But like, what?
It's one of those situations where it's like, if you had shown us that maybe because she's been breaking out dinosaurs from illegal breeding plants,
Right.
that she's literally become a mercenary now,
Yeah.
that would be one thing. But that one little scene of we broke out a sick Triceratops, that does not make me think now she all of a
She's now
sudden
a
knows how to
mercenary.
kick ass. That's
Right.
not how that works.
It was cool to see those two characters back. I was surprised that I was like, because that Asian actress in Justice
He was from the
Smith.
first movie.
Yeah.
Jurassic World. Yeah.
Or the second one. The second one. He was in Fallen. He was in Fault because the first one was Jake Johnson. The second one was Justice Smith.
Oh, Justice Smith.
Yes.
Justice Smith
Was so much better in this.
way better in this
Yes,
movie.
and I really
Way
like
better.
that actress too.
No, I
I
was
don't
gonna
know
say
her name.
the black dude from was from the first one, who like the cop.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the
You're
Asian
talking-
doctor, the veterinarian.
They were both
Way
way
better.
better in this movie.
Agreed.
Way better. Like
and it was
Justice
actually
Smith,
nice to see them.
I agree. When I first saw him, I went because it was when they started that scene with them and they rescued the T-Rex, and I turned to Winston and I said, "They're acting as if people really like Fallen Kingdom by bringing all these characters."
Yeah, but they redeemed them.
1,000,000%.
Yes, they did.
And again, that's another reason I like this one better than the last two, because it didn't invent dinosaurs and it redeemed characters that were irredeemable somehow.
Did. Justice Smith in this one was I will go back and say he's not in Dope, by the way. He was in a movie called Broken Flowers. I think was that's the one that I thought of him from. But either way, he was so good in this because of the job they gave him also. And I love that idea where he was working for the CIA or whatever the hell he was working for, and he says to them, and he has a great moment that also plays into I did buy Bryce Dallas Howard and Pratt as like her parents and guardians. And
I like that.
He's like, you guys are good parents or whatever the hell you are. And he didn't, I think, and again, I think this is Bayona versus Trevorrow. I think Bayona directed Justice Smith in a way to go like, I want you to be like frantic and
big
over
and
the top
wacky,
and over, because everything he did in that last movie, he's like,
and
this, he's a normal guy. Yeah,
I think there's two things also at play. I think it probably is that direction, but remember, this is around the time when he also does Detective Pikachu. It's a very similar role. He has a little bit of seriousness in it, but for the most part,
carried it over maybe.
And I think it is he is matured as an actor, in my opinion. And the directors let him do that, and I think they also wrote him to grow up, because remember, he goes, guys, this isn't helpful anymore.
No,
We're
maybe
not doing it.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I think there was something about because it's funny because I do like Justice Smith a lot, but I groaned when I saw him. And when he came into the movie, I'm like, oh no, they're just going to do the same thing they did.
But by the end.
Not even by the end. By the second, like after that first scene, and when they're fixing him up, I was like, because I remember thinking as I'm watching the scene, like he played that at a much better level to where he's likable, and then when they see him again. But he's another one. You never see him ever again. For the rest of the
so
movie.
this movie, like, it definitely isn't good. But I do think in the pass fail, like if it's literally like a black and white pass fail, it did pass for me personally because I got new dinosaurs, I got characters I love, I had some great action set pieces. It wasn't smart, it wasn't Jurassic Park, but I did get characters getting redemption arcs, and I did have a story that at least moved. And the Malta sequence, I think, is like one of my favorite Jurassic Park sequences.
But the only thing that I think I audibly laughed out loud, but I was enjoying, even though it was ridiculous, is Goldblum, is Malcolm trying to open the gate. Let me try my wife's birthday.
It's just pure Goldblum.
And then he thinks to himself, oh, I got it. No, you didn't.
But that was the opposite of the Goldblum we got in the last movie, where he was like, I'm just Jeff Goldblum on set reading from a teleprompter. Like, what a weird thing.
He was still Goldblum in this, but he was more like quirky Goldblum.
Dude,
yes, it was back to Goldblum.
When he saw Bryce Dallas
Josh
Howard,
Robert
he
Thompson.
goes, okay. Well, it's like, no. He's like, oh, okay, I won't. that was two moments that I loved.
Goldblum was great. DeWanda Weiss was great. Pratt was a little better. I think overall the dinosaurs were more interesting. Not that they were peaceful, but like their interactions were interesting. Like I hate when the T-Rex keeps teaming up with other dinosaurs that are raptor based to kill the villain. I hate that. They do it in every movie for some reason. Yeah. But when we had the raptors, they were predators that were track hunters in the Malta scene. When we had the compies, they acted like they should. We had dinosaurs acting like they'd been already at peace for 100 years, which was dumb. But what they were doing felt like their right modus operandi.
Yeah,
you know
which I liked.
Now that I thought about this, the fact that you're saying that character, the guy that was the Elon Musk character, or whatever, is the same dude that gave
Campbell
Wayne
Scott.
Way more interesting.
Gave him the Barbasol can. did you then connect the dots that he died the same way that Wayne Knight
Yeah.
did, and that he died from the
Yeah.
Dilophosaurus?
Yeah.
You said?
Yeah, Dilophosaurus.
Okay.
So it makes more sense now.
Yeah.
It's karma.
Yeah, it's true.
And there's moments like that I was
For-
like, okay, this is like a
Yeah.
C+. Like it's a time I'm having at the movie. It hasn't failed.
That's what it is. Poor Spider-Man's dad.
Yeah, Spider-Man's dad just getting murked in the face.
So you feel bad for Spider-Man's dad. You never really got to come back. Although in the deleted scene he did come
Oh
back.
yeah, he comes back at the end. He talks to Peter Parker, who loves dinosaurs.
Campbell Scott
No.
in Amazing Spider-Man.
Is
It's
that
Andrew
the same
Garfield's dad.
actor?
Yeah. Campbell Scott.
He just played a big like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was playing that Musk big.
Yeah, but the good news is a lot of these dinosaurs, they seem like they're drinking athletic greens.
Oh, for sure.
And I will tell you that for what I've told you guys many times over, I'm so happy that athletic greens is back. I have packets of athletic greens, and I've been using a lot of athletic greens. I love it. And it's what's so great about athletic greens in general is that it gives you that boost of energy that you need. And I've been using it for a while now. They've been with us. I was going through our how long we've been with them now. It's been a while. Since like the beginning of the year, and man, I'm so glad that we are with them and that they are with us, because Brett Sheridan was the first person to tell me, he's like, yeah, man, you got to make sure you check out Athletic Greens. Don't let it go to waste. And I have not. I have been using it all the time. And you talk about better gut health, more energy, optimized immune system. That's what Athletic Greens gives you. And if you don't know what it is, you take one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you get 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, everything. It starts your day off right in a special blend of ingredients that supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system. It's fantastic. I remember telling Chris Van Vliet when he was in here, he's like, oh my God, I love Athletic Greens. You will too. It costs you less than $3 a day. You invest in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. I promise. It's cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself, and you invest in an all-in-one nutritional insurance. It supports mental clarity, alertness. It supports better sleep quality, recovery. And Athletic Greens has over 7,000 five-star reviews and is recommended by professional athletes. And after taking it for a while and after using it for a while, I can understand why. It is time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with a convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. I take a water bottle. I put it in the water bottle. I shake it up. I took it with me to Star Wars Celebration, and I was moving. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/bigthing. Again, athleticgreens.com/bigthing. Take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, so for people who don't know, and another reason, as I said in the beginning, if you want to help out the show, not only can you subscribe to the podcast feed, but if you want to help yourself and you want to try Athletic Greens to help your own health, obviously, everything I just told you, you also help out the show tremendously, our show, when you get some of these wonderful sponsors because they come back. And then I'm able to bring in people like Coy and Winston and more people and do more shows. So make sure you check it out and check out Athletic Greens. They are worth it. Have you guys tried it yet?
I did.
Yeah, I actually like
did.
the flavor more than I expected.
Right?
Yeah, because in nutrition,
course.
not always the best move. But it actually has
especially when it looks uber green like that, you're thinking grass.
and you get that like weedy, like that negative.
what you think.
This is tropical and like delightful. It's
Yeah.
almost effervescent.
It's really good.
I dug it.
You like it?
No, it was good. I liked the way it made me feel.
Yes.
Feel.
Yeah, it's true.
I was about to say felt, and then I was going to say feel, and it came out.
Sound like a Jurassic World writer
yeah,
over
that's
there,
right.
just
I know,
making up
that's true.
things, just going off the cuff.
Hey, so what if we have the dinosaurs feels good?
Oh, this is how I felt on the day. When I took it, I felt great.
It feels good.
So I liked it more than I think
Dominion.
the average, but I think my bar was just I skipped Jurassic World 2 because of how much I didn't like Jurassic World 1.
Right.
So I was coming from a place of I love this franchise. I've been betrayed. I'm skipping it. Oh God, it was worse than I imagined. So I didn't get kicked in the nuts, so I was happy. And I got slapped in the face.
I
and kicked in the
understand
nuts.
everything that you're saying. Because
Yeah.
like when I did not, and I said it, and this is not a ringing endorsement for the film at any stretch of the imagination, but I walked out going, I didn't hate watching that movie. Like, I don't think it's a good movie, but I didn't hate watching it.
Yeah.
And this is not. I want to bring this conversation up again. Roxy brought it up, and she said, if you had to watch this or Last Jedi again, what would you watch? And I would watch this. I would watch it.
Wow, I know your thoughts on The Last Jedi. They're aggressive.
But there's a difference. There's a difference, though. if you're going to ask me what I think the better film is, of course it's Last Jedi.
Fair.
Do I think that there's what has better writing? What is a better crafted film? What is a better overall directed, written, acted film? The Last Jedi.
But what makes you less angry?
But it's not angry. It's not angry. It's a frustration.
Okay.
It's a frustration of knowing of no plans and knowing of inconsistencies and all that. That's different than knowing that this is just not like if we had to rewatch this series again and watch it again, like if we were like, okay, there's a new Jurassic Park, we're gonna rewatch them all again. I kept warning you guys about Fallen
it was
Kingdom.
worse.
I kept warning you. I wouldn't warn people this way. If I was doing a rewatch series of people who had never seen it, I go, here's the thing. First one, don't mind Jurassic World. Second one is atrocious. The third was fine. It's not good.
Yeah.
But you won't mind watching it. It's just kind of mindless nonsense.
And that shouldn't be a movie at this budget.
No,
we're not forgiving a thing.
No, it should be great.
But we're acknowledging
you had opportunity to make it great.
That's what makes me sad is that, again, you're right. It's a fine enough movie. It's a fine enough summer blockbuster to sit down and watch. If it popped up on TNT like 5 years from now,
you'll watch
and I have nothing else on, I would watch. Oh, I like this scene. I'll watch that part. But I this is not one that unless I'm getting a free copy, I'm not going to go buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not actively seeking this out other than because I have to.
And there is a disappointment with the potential of what they could have went with especially the fact that it was teased on Planet of the Apes. It was teased so well.
Again, beyond what you did with the storyline to be like, you just let dinosaurs loose on the physical world. You started this trilogy by naming it Jurassic World. Yeah. So screw a theme. When they're like, we just made a bigger theme park, I was like, this already is a problem.
Yeah.
But if this is what you're doing, that they're going to escape, and maybe that's what this was beginning to do, I'll give it to you.
No, Volcano Island horror movie. That's what we're going to do. Well, and then the third one, we're going to do it, but we're going to skip ahead 100 years and everything's all copacetic. But the humans are the humans you already know.
Yeah.
Because it was like the dinosaurs had already been on the planet for 100 years. It was like generations of humans and dinosaurs had learned to coexist.
But even some of the silly technology, like, we have... They have all this technology. Oh yeah, there's a signal where the dinosaurs aren't going to bother you.
How?
And then how?
When did they put that in their heads?
Right.
Like, is it just the adults that run the camp?
Does Tony Stark work for you guys?
Yeah.
It's like
how's that going?
Yeah.
But also, if you're going to do that, then explain
more.
Planes don't fall out of the sky because we've actually equipped them with a signal that wards off pterodactyl. And show me something.
And another scene. Speaking of which, so this is why would they have Bryce Dallas Howard flip out of that plane and land by herself when they were going to try to make an impact on their own? They did a lot better than she did.
Oh yeah,
they crashed and just got out, and they had
just
to like
hopped
run.
Out.
They had to run on the ice
because they wanted to put a GoPro in Bryce Dallas Howard's face.
And this is the first movie I've ever seen where any character falls through the ice and doesn't go under the ice immediately and have to go through.
Yeah,
that would have been more dramatic and it would be what happened.
Right.
And instead he goes, pop right back up.
And the hole, cool.
Also, adrenaline or nah, he doesn't instantly start suffering from hypothermia.
Right.
He was in that water for 10
a while.
seconds.
Yeah. Yes.
10 seconds is
That's
all
enough.
you need to drop your body
2 seconds.
Yeah. And he's fighting. He's fine. He's running around again.
That's what they just abandon logic throughout this entire movie.
Because I know why they shot her out because they only had the one parachute. They didn't think they were going to survive the plane crash. So that was. But what I'm saying though is, ultimately though,
I know the reasoning behind it, but ultimately they did a lot better than she did. She's hanging in the tree. She's doing
her fighting dinosaurs. Her slow crawl
through the water.
The one that's like looking for.
There's nothing in the water.
There's nothing in the water. That's what I thought. I kept thinking something in that water is going to.
There's no chance I go in that water.
No, because then you can't see. Like, you don't know what's under.
No chance you go in that water.
It's a great tense scene, but they could have doubled down by having something else in the water.
Yeah, it was a very silly movie.
I mean, how they discovered DeWanda Weiss, though. Now I'm going to follow her career because she was badass. Like, I liked all of her sequences.
Really liked her a lot.
She handled really bad dialogue well, which is very hard to do.
Yeah.
She was immediately endearing, which is really hard with a cast of legacy characters and new trilogy characters. Yeah. Like, in the Fast Five of things, Gal Gadot stood out. Like, because she was our new one with the old one. I had a similar thing with her.
She was trying, though, too, because she was given a lot of bad dialogue also, because like some of the stuff she was saying, even where like what was it, even the redhead line, like they wanted to let you know that she liked women.
Yeah.
So but in order to do it, I get it, I like redhead too, I like redheads too, and it's like I'm all for great. She is who she is. let's give her a little bit more of a line,
actual
some kind of generic thing.
let's-
I like redheads too. By the way, I like women. It's like
did she?
find me
Who did
a
she?
different way. Let her have a relationship.
Who
Yeah.
did she say that to? Was that to
It's to
Goldblum?
Pratt.
Oh,
It was to Pratt. And
See,
she's like, it's letting her know, and then it's letting the audience know that she likes women. But it's like you could have done that with another woman.
What would have been so much funny if you're going to do that line instead of doing it to Pratt. The minute Goldblum goes, oh, you can go. She's already. You could just go. She's already spoken for. I tried something like that. Something little.
Or you're not my type. Oh, well, who's your type? And he looks over. Oh, okay. and then we know. And then we know. And it's like that was so like over the head. And it's like let her have a moment. Let her be
a character.
Let her have a moment.
And
not just let you know like that's who she is. Also, it's like. Okay, but like that's come on. It was kind of it was like
the fact that she buys a new plane and she just names it two, like she the same thing.
The same thing with the two.
Like, I thought that was stupid.
She tried, and then there were a couple different lines that they gave her, and you could see her. She committed 150%, but it was just such piss poor dialogue and action. It's like, yeah, it's just not a good movie.
No.
It really isn't. All right, you guys want to rank this?
Let's rank them.
All right, so if and what I'm going to do here, we'll do it. I'm going to bring out some pictures, and we'll do how much. Before I even do this, how much do we think that this movie is going to make opening weekend? Because now remember, the reviews on Dominion and the first one weren't great. On Fallen Kingdom. On Fallen Kingdom weren't great, and it did $1 billion. Did almost as much
$1 billion overall, but did it do a lot opening weekend?
I think so.
It had momentum.
We can look at the box office.
I don't think it had like crazy legs. I think it did a decent.
All right. If I had to guess, I think because nothing else is coming out this weekend, is there?
No. Next weekend's Lightyear.
Lightyear's next year.
Then I think they'll still
Next
pull.
week.
I still think they'll pull 100.
I'll do more than 100.
I'm gonna go 175.
Yeah, I think you're. I mean, because considering that now we're gonna have Top Gun has
been
one of the lowest drop offs ever in week 2.
The lowest of a movie around $1 million.
2.
But that's
why,
was it? I thought it was
the number one lowest drop off in a movie around $100 million.
But here's the thing: with even though there's nothing new coming out, with Strange still out, with Top Gun still out, I think they pull 100, maybe 120. But I think you have too much firepower out in the stratosphere for them to hit that higher level with these reviews being this bad.
I don't know, man. Top Gun made 170 or whatever it was, 160. And I think more people were excited about Jurassic Park in general. And they still think that not a lot of people are going to listen to critics.
And I do think dinosaurs are always a sell.
I think it makes 150.
I mean, I asked my buddy. I was like, "Do you want to know my opinion?" And like it's in a group chat with my high school homies. He was like, "Just let him see the movie without." And I was like, "You do what you want. I just
trying to help.
I'm just trying to let you know."
I'm gonna say 175, which I think might be in the high end. But I feel like if we go 150, 175,
I think the thing that'll help them. With it being such a blockbuster spectacle movie, you're going to get a lot of IMAX and Dolby. Whether they
which
see
will help
one or
boost
not,
it.
that'll boost it a lot.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say 350 worldwide.
For both 350 worldwide, you think the movie makes?
Oh, a weekend.
Oh,
weekend. Not done.
Not total.
I'm gonna go one.
what?
I'm gonna go one. I'll change it. Instead of one, I'll go 125.
Okay, so 125, 150, 175. I'm going 350 opening weekend worldwide. I'm gonna say it lands at 800. I think word of mouth's not gonna be great, and it's gonna stall out a little bit.
I think it won't. I think it won't break 7. I think 700 will be. I think 700 will be there where it caps.
So your cap's 7, my cap's 8. Kristian, what do you got?
Had Fallen Kingdom not done as good as I'd be on Winston's side, but Fallen Kingdom proved that they don't care about what they just want to watch, and especially now after the pandemic, people still want to watch dinosaur movies in the theater. I'm gonna say, I'll say 850. What'd you say?
8. I like that because you're higher overall than me and the domestic. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then
someone hold us accountable on the weekend box office. Put in the comments, everybody.
Interesting. So, all right, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take the show logo to bring that down, and we're going to bring up there's Dominion. There is I got 2 Dominions. I only need 1 Dominion. So now I got, which one is that? That is Fallen Kingdom. Okay. And you did that. Okay, we're going to bring up all these. Which one's this one? That's the first one?
First World.
Okay. So we're going to maneuver them as each one of us is talking. We're going to we'll maneuver them around. And then there's Jurassic Park 3. Perfecto. There is Part 2. And I think 1 is the only one I don't have a poster for, but I have.
Will you?
Yeah.
That was the end of that tagline.
Oh,
Remember
was
that?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, and then the first one is just a picture of all of our peeps, which is fine.
Look at Hammond, so happy.
Yes, poor Hammond.
Also, so young. I mean, they still look
So
good for their
young.
age, but they are so young.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's weird because we were kids, they looked like adults, and now I'm like, we're their age.
Yeah.
Laura Dern's like younger than us.
I know. All right, so let's go. We'll start with Koi.
All right.
Shift. Let me help you out here. Hold on. Let's just leave that one there.
Yeah, Jurassic Park, spoiler
Yeah.
alert,
All right,
is number one.
All right, what do you got for 2?
I'm going Lost World. Love it.
Go
That's my
Lost.
Batman and Robin.
Okay. All right,
My
that's your
number
spot.
3 is actually going to be Fallen Kingdom. I mean, sorry, the Dominion.
What?
Dominion.
I was about to go over and slap
I'd
the
deserve it, and I'd let you, and I'd say to cut to, I'd say to
All right.
show it.
Okay.
And then my next one is going to be Jurassic Park 3,
Jurassic Park 3. Oh, so we can leave it right there.
and then World, and then the one that shall not be named.
Yeah. All right. So we got. All right. So this is Koi's list. I'm gonna do a screenshot of Koi's list.
And I will say that between 2 and 3 is a pretty big leap, and then between 3 and World is a decent leap for me, and then that
right.
last one's barely a movie.
So that's Koi. So Winston, we'll leave that one there. Now you said 2 spots.
So keep it as so far. Then take Dominion and put it at where Jurassic Park 3 is. Put Jurassic Park 3 where World is.
In the 5th spot,
It's in the 5th spot, and put World at number 3.
Okay.
So that's me.
So for Winston, he's got Jurassic Park 1, Jurassic Park 2, then Jurassic World, then Jurassic World Dominion, then Jurassic Park 3, and then ending with Fallen Kingdom. I don't think anybody's changing Fallen Kingdom from where it is.
1 and 6 are staying as is.
Yeah, let me screenshot Winston's. Okay. Perfecto. All right, let's see. So for me, I'm probably going to have a different list also, as I'll bring all 3 of our lists up at the end and compare them. So I'm going to stay with number 1, obviously. For number 2, I think I'm going to actually go with Jurassic World.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 3, if I have to watch all these movies again, which one? I don't know. I'll probably go Lost World now that I've watched them again. Yeah, and then I probably will just stay like this. I think I'll probably go. I mean, even though I don't mind Jurassic Park 3, I don't. But it's even watching it again. I don't know.
So bad.
It's really bad. Jurassic Park 3 is really bad. And Jurassic World.
It just doesn't feel like it matters.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
not that Dominion does, but like,
Yeah. But what I'll tell you is that it's just sad in general because we can all agree, out of these 6 films, only one of them is great.
Yeah.
one is truly exceptional.
It's great.
It's one of the best films of all time.
One is great. 3 of them are mediocre, and 2 of them are
bad.
trash.
Well, let's see. So the first one is a masterpiece. We know it. We love it. So I think that Winston and I are on the same spot with Jurassic World. I don't really love this movie, but on the rewatch, it's better. It's a Spielberg movie. There's a lot of stupid things going on.
I can't take inventing a dinosaur for me. I think that's like because
yeah,
they've already
I
invented
know.
dinosaurs. So like I think no matter what, how many times I rewatch it.
Sorry. I'm talking different completely. So Jurassic World, I'm talking about. Sorry, that's what you were talking about. But
Yeah.
Lost World is where my head was.
got it.
Sorry. So Jurassic World, the reason I have that at 2 is because to me the idea and the fascination of what the park would actually be.
Sure.
That to me works. I like the adventure of it. I enjoy that movie. I don't mind it. And then Lost World, because it's Spielberg, it is a better made film. The Lost World is a better made film than Jurassic World. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. But I enjoy the Jurassic World better. But yeah, these 3 films, World, Park, and Lost World.
If you had gone 1 Lost World, Jurassic World, and that was your trilogy, I actually would have probably vibed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's like I want to open this park. It's not going to work. Oh, we kind of had an issue. Okay, we actually figured out how to open the park, but it really became an issue.
And we did the park anyway, and it was a disaster.
And
so
that's a more traditional trilogy arc.
Yeah.
Is like, big one,
Right.
second one's dark and trying to figure it out, third one's spectacle, it all fails anyway.
It's funny because if you would have asked me,
That's Star Wars, actually, right?
Yeah, that's true. But before our rewatch, if you would have asked me, Jurassic Park 3 would have probably been up there really high for me.
Yeah.
But after watching it, it's atrocious.
Alan.
It's and then Alan talking, but how bad William H. Macy and Tia Leone
Leone
is.
not doing anything but screaming, and that's not her fault.
she's-
But that script
And
doesn't.
I love Tia Leone.
Yeah.
She is unwatchable in that film.
Yeah.
she's as bad as Justice Smith is in
the other one. There's always one real bad choice.
Yeah.
I still stand by. I mean, someone had told me that some dinosaurs of that size actually were pretty soft-footed.
Yeah.
But the fact that you heard that dinosaur every other time it was coming, and then the one time they're by the fence, you don't at all feel anything. He just happens to be there. Like,
It's almost like a camouflage dinosaur that can suddenly go invisible, that can sneak up when it's 40 feet tall in Jurassic World. Why does that exist?
You mess with genetics, you're gonna get.
How is it silent? How is it invisible and silent? It's in a cage. It's still got a heat signature. How do you lose it? It's dumb.
Hey man,
Unforgivable.
Genetics.
Unforgivable. Genetics. Unforgivable.
Hey, you made your super scroll. Shut up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sold. I got nothing. That was as long of a pause as your Incredibles moment.
Yeah.
That was.
it's disappointing. I'm trying to think where I'm trying. Yeah. Hey Holly
Hunter.
Hey Holly Hunter, you've been in a lot of movies.
So many great movies. Incredibles.
The Incredibles.
That's it. I wish.
Great to meet you.
You gotta send me. You gotta send me that
I gotta find
footage.
it. I gotta find the footage.
We'll make it a Got Your Milk soundbite. Oh wow!
That's gonna be anytime someone says something. I really should leave that graphic.
That's nice.
Look at that.
That's something
Good
else.
picture, isn't it? All right.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hilarious.
So yeah, I feel like that's our Jurassic journey.
That's it. We finished it up, and you can watch all of our rewatch series if you haven't seen any of it. You can go and check it out. Do you still like? Here's the thing: if this movie crosses $1 billion,
Society's failed.
nah. Not. You know what? You know why I think it's got a good shot is because you have to remember the other thing too is that before the pandemic, there were so many movies coming out. There were 3 movies in summertime. There were 3 a week.
Now it's got and Lightyear's a different market. It's a little.
Here's the only thing that I would say. I don't think it can cross $1 billion for this reason.
Too long.
1, it's too long. 2, you had Lightyear. I know it's a different audience, but you are still taking kids to go see the Jurassic films. And 3, Thor is like 2 to 3 weeks away. You were about to eat alive that audience.
Don't forget though.
Premiere's 2 weeks away. It's actually 4 weeks away when it comes out.
Oh. Yes,
So but it will by then.
But don't forget, there's Top Gun is the proof of this, and so is the Lost World or Lost City, whatever that movie is with Sandra Bullock. There is a contingency from moviegoers who want to watch big movies that are not just Marvel and DC movies.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying typically you are seeing that $1 billion mark happen with only 1 or 2 movies in like a quarter, and that like because they are that blockbuster that everybody can't take their eyes off of. So if I remember, the last $1 billion film was No Way Home.
Yeah,
Strange got close, but I don't think it's crossed that mark yet.
Got close.
At 9.
No, but
Top
Gun's
Gun's
gonna get
Top
there.
Gun will
Yeah, I
probably
think
do
Top
it.
Gun will
So
get
that's
there.
what I'm saying. That's the one for the quarter.
Let's see. Hold on.
know.
Top Gun Maverick, Box Office Mojo, and because I'm about to change my tune on something. I will tell you.
It's only at 583.
It's at 583.
But that's in 13 days.
That's in 13 days.
That's crazy.
So that's. I mean, I
For a movie that cost what it did, and for like a 36-year later sequel,
I think Jurassic World makes 900 or
Going
close
9?
or close to $1 billion.
I'm sticking to 8.
If it makes $1 billion, I will not be shocked because of everything I'm saying there too. You know, also the other thing is people want to be back in the movies.
I mean, I didn't love Doctor Strange. It's at 9.
People want to go to the movies, and
Yeah.
and there's just not enough right now to see. It's almost like back in the day when it was the only game in town of all the, like, what do you go out to see?
Yeah.
You know, and if there's like, well, there's
The
no movie.
Thing.
The thing that's coming out.
Yeah,
And
that
it's like,
weekend's movie.
What's the movie coming out right now? Well, it's Jurassic Park. It's like, and we're not in the contingency, but there is a massive contingency of people that are going, there's all this coming out as Marvel and freaking DC movies. Like, I want to see something else. And it's like, well, what about Jurassic World? Yeah, let's go see a Jurassic Park movie. Come on, Dad.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
gonna
I
happen
felt great
a
to
lot.
watch Top Gun because
That's
I was
gonna
like,
happen.
this
Right.
isn't homework.
I could see it. I guess it was just that there was something. Again, the movies that have been hitting a Billy, I understand why the first World did. It was the nostalgia of like, we got to get back in it, and it was a good of enough film for Fallen Kingdom. I think people were like, I wanted, like, where are we going from here?
Yeah.
So remember, Minions made $1 billion.
But
Minions.
that makes sense, babies.
I'm just telling you.
Kids' movies do gangbusters.
It was 2015, right? So
Yeah.
billion, and then that was with, and theaters are just taking theaters need are when a movie hits right now, like you said, Doctor Strange. When a movie's in Top Gun, when a movie hits right now, it's hitting like Vegas.
Because we all
money.
want to escape. Like, we all just want that freedom.
How did Sonic 2 do? I'm just curious.
Sonic 2. Well, remember, Sonic 2 was still kind of in the.
The world wasn't back.
Yeah, still, but
No,
still,
sure,
let's see.
but I'm
Let's
still
see.
curious.
Let's see. Almost 400 million.
Yeah,
I mean, it
it's
cost
not
70. How much did it? I don't know what the. I find it. By the way, I'm 20 minutes away from the end of the first one.
Of Sonic?
Yeah.
It's
I
fun,
like it.
right?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, they're a really good time.
Dude,
watched-
Natasha Rothwell.
Yeah.
She is a superstar. I love her so
Yeah.
much.
Thank my daughter for that one. For everybody's been asking me about it because my daughter, for her last day of school, they're going to show her Sonic 2.
Aww.
And she's like,
I need to watch one.
she's like, Dad, you got to sign my permission slip to watch 2. She's like, but we got to watch 1.
That's
because I don't want to.
adorable.
It was really great. So anyway,
All right.
that's it. That's our thing. And I'll tell you right now, for people who missed out on our big thing episode with Jurassic World from last Thursday, you missed out because Brett had some really crazy stuff that he talked about on the show, and that's where this comes in. So
Thing of beauty.
yeah. Anyway, all right. Thank you to Coy and Winston. You're gonna see a lot of Coy and Winston on Friday. Last Friday, you saw them on our Toy Story 2 rewatch. Today we have our Jurassic World spoiler discussion, Dominion, and then on Friday we're going to be doing Toy Story 3 and 4, and then a week from today we'll be doing our Lightyear spoiler discussion. So make sure you stick with us, and do not forget, please go check out Athletic Greens. Make sure that you get yourself on that podcast feed. Oh, I deleted it. That's great, and so. Get on over to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that podcasts are found. Do me a favor. And that's it. That's all I got for you. So for Corey Jandreau and for Winston A. Marshall, we'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace, and go scratch your ball bags.